Welcome back to another edition of our season previews presented by Saskatchewan Construction Safety Association. Today we are going to be joined by head coach and general manager of the Melville Millionaires, Doug Johnson. Doug, thanks for joining us today. How's everything going as we approach the preseason?
It's going. Just looking forward to getting back on the ice and starting camp on the 30th. It's looking forward to a special year.
That's great. Now, obviously, the summer has kind of gone and it's behind us now, but did you get a little time to yourself for the summer? Did you get up to anything?
Yeah, you got to take a little time for yourself, decompress. Had the kids up to Tobin Lake and spent some time there fishing, and had a real nice fishing trip way up north with my dad for his 75th. So we did take some time, but as you get older, the summers go a lot quicker, and there's not enough hours in the day to enjoy things.
Yeah, I hear that. Let's have a look back at your first year at the Helm in Melville last year. A fifth place finish, a Viterra Division championship, but a hard-fought loss in round one to Battlefords. What are you taking away from last season that you can apply to this season?
Well, I think you just have to look at the progress the team made. Go from, 13, 14 wins before we started last year to over 30 last year. That's a huge accomplishment for the players. And then you look at the support from the organization, support from the community. You know, our financials are in a much different spot right now than they were before. The fundraising was outstanding. You look at some of the games, our SJHL game against Yorkton, the last home game of the year, was just incredible. The crowds for playoffs, even for Tuesday, Wednesday, were outstanding. 50-50s, you know, 17,000, 7,000. Things that haven't been done in Melville, from my understanding, in a long, long time. And to see that pride in the community back, it's pretty special and something that'll stay with me for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome to see all the support that Melville came out with last year, and it was super exciting to see that rink as full as it had been in the past. I mean, it's a beautiful rink. It's a beautiful facility, and the town should be very proud of it. I know they are. Let's have a look at your roster here as we get into camp. I mean, we're rolling into preseason territory, and generally you had a younger team last year, so we have a lot of guys eligible to come back, and guys like Caden Drury, who led your team in scoring, Jaden Ayogan, who had a really great year last year, breaking out among others, and a couple of graduated players. Obviously, Bradley Bannock had a really good year for you last year. Joel Mabin was a leader for you last year. Who can the fan base expect back this year that you anticipate will be at the top of that leaderboard for you guys?
Well, you mentioned the two guys offensively that are going to have to drive the bus. That's Drury and Yogi, two outstanding players, and they're going to be relied upon to be two of the best forwards in the league, not just on our team, but in the league, and they have the ability to do that. Then you also have guys like Ewan Morrison, Brendan Olson, guys that came in later, Gab Carlson, and then a guy that people forget about because he was injured for the last part of the year, Flynn Maxey up front. And there's still a lot more, but those are the guys that are returning that are going to be relied heavily upon. And then our back end, we have 5 returning guys, and we just think our back end is going to be one of the best in the league, if not the best, with guys like Matty, Jimmy Shamehouse, Harkey, Cohen Swan, Noel Belle-Isle, and Logan Goodwin. Just guys that battle day in, day out, and really help turn the fortunes of our organization around. And you got to build from the back end out. And, you know, we don't really have any returning goalies, but the 2 young kids we signed, Thomas Paquette, Nick Jeanette, we expect incredible things out of them, and think they're going to be ready to pull the bus and help us get to where we want to go.
Yeah, you graduated. You mentioned your defensive group. You're bringing back a lot of guys. You graduated Colby Ball and Peyton Kostishin. I mean, we talked a ton about those guys last year. Obviously, very impactful players. But I guess with your answer just now, you're expecting that you're feeling pretty confident in the blue line group overall, in the guys coming back, and then maybe some guys you might have added over the summer.
Yeah, 100%. We think our back end's going to be a strength, and just the minutes that they played, like Harkey was playing. Harkey, Swanee, Jimmy were all playing 20 minutes a night for us. Noel Belle-Isle and Logan Goody, they had some injuries. They dealt with some first year inconsistencies maybe, but both incredibly skilled players, guys that can help on the power play, help on the kill. We just think the back end's going to be a strength, and then the guys that we signed and are bringing in. Chance Loke out of PHA, Riley Cragen out of Estevan Bears, and Brody Hicks and Pat C's, just again tremendous young players, all a little bit different, but guys that want to compete, guys that want to make things better. And that's not even to start talking about the guys that are coming into camp that we think very highly of, obviously, and think it's going to be a real competitive camp, and nothing's going to be guaranteed or given to anybody right now.
Yeah, I saw just the other day. I know you made an acquisition with the Selkirk Steelers for Edward Nittig, who I think he has some experience in the league, if I'm not mistaken. But what can you talk about? Do you have any guys that you added over the summer, whether you signed them, traded for them, whatever it might be, that you're really excited to see in camp and get onto this roster?
Well, really, everybody that we signed or bringing in, we're excited for in different reasons. You talk about Ed. We lost the three guys we lost: Cole King, Luke Beadle, Eli Mickish, guys that aren't coming back. They're all left shot forwards. We needed some depth and some experience on the left side. We feel so. Bringing in Ed, also bringing in a kid, Andrew Castellato, who started last year with Battleford, a year of junior A experience under his belt. But the young guys, like, we have a nice blend of size with guys like Jackson Lee coming in from Grand Prairie, Ty Noseworthy coming in, some skilled Jake Briltz, and Evan Layden coming in from the U.S., and then also just some younger guys that we feel are going to be really ready to step up. Preston Bearwald and Alex Morrison. Hopefully Leo Jewett's healthy enough to handle a real good year. Guys like that we're really excited about, and it's everybody. And those guys that we named, if they didn't have good summers, they're not going to be here. We want to make sure that they're ready to play. They want to be here. They prove that they want to be here with strong summers, and we're going to let camp dictate who gets the ice time.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the best way to approach it. Generally, I would say. Last season, there might not have been a goalie more capable of taking over a game or dominating a game quite like William Dyke was. I mean, he led the league in shutouts with 5. What is your confidence level with your new guys coming into camp as we sit here today?
It's higher. We would have had somebody already in the fold. Obviously, having 2 first-year guys, a lot of people don't think that's ideal, and 9 times out of 10, I would be feeling the same thing. But you look at the track record of Thomas Paquette, he set a shutout record for his school. Nick Jeanette led Victory Honda, one of the best teams, one of the top 3 teams in the U.S. AAA. He was their starter for the year, had outstanding numbers. He's been to the U.S. Festivals, which is the top 16 goalies of your age group in the country. Took him to a national tournament. So there's guys that have done things extraordinary in their past. There's guys that have seen the bright lights, have been on the big stage, and they haven't faltered. The nerves haven't got them. So that's why we're really confident with what we have. And obviously, you're always going to be trying to make your team better, make your team stronger. But we have a lot of confidence right now heading in between the pipes, and just looking forward to seeing them compete. And again, it's all about the summer. It's so long, and it's not like back in the day when I played. You hopped on the tractor right after the season. You never opened your bag until you hop off the combine. Now they're at it 24/7, 12 months of the year, and we expect big things from them.
Yeah, I think in our old offices, we had a poster on the wall of an old Maple Leafs camp invite letter from I want to say it was the 60s. And it said, please come to camp being able to do 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, and run for 5 minutes or something like that. And that was it. That's like, that's not even a warm-up in today's standards. It's crazy how much things have changed. But off the ice, I think we can't state enough how much of a rejuvenation or whatever you want to call it was last season for the Melville Millionaires. Has that momentum carried over into the summer, I guess, in the business side of things? And how's the business side looking as we enter this upcoming season?
Well, we feel it went extraordinarily well. Season tickets are up, and I know a lot of the teams are going for the discounted season tickets. We didn't do that because we just think it devalues the product right now. We just business as usual. I think season tickets are up 20-30% if I'm not mistaken. Fundraising, there's a strong plan in place. A lot of it's going to be the same as last year just because it works so well for us. But right now it's just building, improving, making sure that our message is out, and being, like, for me and my family, it's a whole year in the community, a whole summer in the community, getting to know people, shaking some hands, kissing some babies, and just being present where something wasn't able to do last year. And I just think the more present you are, the more you're part of the community, it's just going to build and build and grow. And we feel as an organization we're head and shoulders above where we were last year, and we know that it's just going to get better and better. The more success we have on the ice, the more success we're going to have off the ice. And guys are working incredibly hard off the ice. We got to make sure that we work twice as hard on the ice now.
Yeah, you love to see it. Last one for you, on the ice at least. Championship aside, because I know that's the easy answer for this question, but what are some goals or targets that you're aiming for year 2 with the Melville Millionaires?
Well, we just got to get better every single day. You look at the long term and the short term. You don't get your long term goals, like you mentioned, a championship, without focusing on the short term goals, the daily goals, and that's getting better every single day. We need to be the toughest team in the league to play against. If we're not the hardest team to play against night in, night out, we as a staff have not done our job. And that's just the mentality we have to instill in the young players. We believe we've instilled that into the returners. And what's exciting for me is last year, basically everybody was a first-year player. So, because it was the first year working, with myself and our staff. This year we have 12 coaches right now. We have 12 guys, I think it is, that can return, 12 guys that understand what we want, how we do things. So they got to be driving the bus, and they're outstanding young men. And I just know it's going to be more of the same, but at a different level, a higher level, and the expectations have grown. So we just got to follow through with that and embrace that.
Well, very exciting to hear all that, Doug. Thank you so much for your time today. Best of luck with camp, and we'll be chatting with you once again once the season gets underway.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.